All right. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Dion's Daily Dose for Thursday, right? It is Thursday. Yep, April 30th, 2020. So we are having a special event coming up. Actually, tomorrow, I got a guy that is probably the person that I'm closest to after my wife, the person that I'm closest to in the world. Uh, his name is Jim. Anyone who knows me knows who I'm talking about. He's going to be with me tomorrow. We're going to hang out. We're going to do a test run to see if he can not curse incessantly. He has a bit of a potty mouth, so we'll see. But we're gonna run with it and see. Try it out. Let's face it, we're not doing these for kids anyway. So my only concern, right? I don't care, that he curses. My only worry is it might get me started because, as I've said in the past, I worked at a maximum security prison. I was a trucker. I have been known to drop an F-bomb here and there. So I'm just hoping that he doesn't, get me started. So see behind me, I have a new graphic there. That's going to essentially be the sign there. Yeah, Jack was kind enough to help me out with that, which I greatly appreciate. We're going to be running with that for the new signs that are coming. Email us if you would like a sign. We make sure that we have permission before we put them in the yard, unlike certain people. So if you would like a sign, let us know. We will make sure that you get one. We are also figuring out the designs for new campaign shirts. We have what I'd like to see, what I'm thinking is using this as kind of the logo up here, right? And then using the Second Amendment flag for the back window, for the back of the shirt. Somewhere I have a picture of that. Let me see if I can find it real quick, and I will show it to you. I don't know if I think it's on my other, drive, not this one. Let me see. Hold on. Let me double check real quick. Yeah, I don't have it. I'll make sure it makes its way up into the folder. Let me find it real quick and I'll upload it. In the meantime, Jim's going to be with us tomorrow. I actually just got out of a meeting. The reason I'm a little bit late is I actually had a meeting with LaPorte County Republicans and some of the candidates that are running for various offices, including Mr. Pressel, the state representative. And lots of what we talked about was what's going on with this, the mail-in voting and all that stuff. The governor is going to hopefully rescind the stay-at-home order tomorrow, but there's a lot of people that think that's going to continue. I'm one of them. I hope, don't get me wrong, I hope that we can start going back to normal, getting people back to work. I don't know if that's what's going to happen or not, but I hope it is. I hope it is. There are people that are losing their livelihoods. There are people that are going broke, right? This whole thing has had some very, very negative effects. Yeah, Paul. So I did. It's actually Keep America Great, my CAG hat, and I put it on Trump. Let me know what you think. He's kind of kicking back behind me, watching over. We've got the standard Dion for Congress on the top, and the new one on the bottom that Jack was kind enough to make for me, which again I greatly appreciate. That's going to be the new signs that I'm having made, one way or another. I am trying to find the picture of my 2A flag that I have in the back of my truck, just it by itself, and then you can see it. Yeah, I'm not gonna spend a bunch of time. I'm not gonna spend a bunch of time looking for it. But you know what? I do want to cover a couple of things that happened today. There were some new drops, right? I'm going to show you one of them. Oh, come on. I already did this. Give me just one. I'm not going to be able to do it on that. I'm going to have to do it on my other browser because, dang it. Let me just get, hey, Mr. Jones, good to see you. Appreciate you joining. Paul says protest planned tomorrow in Indy again. I didn't watch today, but I'm optimistic for opening more than we are. So am I. Jack says state parks are supposed to open. I hope so. You know what I want, really? Realistically, I want the gun ranges to open. The ones that are socially distanced anyway. The outdoor ranges, why are they even closed? They're set up for social distancing. It's mind-blowing, right? So I'm going to see if I can get this link, because this article is insane. It really is. You should, oh, well, you know what? You can see here, I'm going to share, let's see here. Let me get, here it is. Okay. So I'm going to get this, boom, copy. Now, those of you who follow me on Twitter, you will already recognize this article. Those of you who do not, this will be new for you if you have not been, checking drops. So here we go. Let me get this set up. Sorry for the delay. Give this just a moment. Is that it? What's going on here? Let's see. Oh, wow. So Timothy says Walmart and Menards are now mandating mask wearing to enter stores. Oh my goodness. Where is this at? Is this in another county? My the wife just came back from, is this it? Yeah, there it is. Okay, so Gateway Pundit, right, says, here, I'll give you full screen on this. So head of House Intelligence Committee Adam Schiff demands Google, YouTube, Twitter step up their authoritative censorship and silencing. I'll give, there you go, so that you can read the article yourself. So what we have is, we have Shifty Schiff, right? The most dishonest and compulsive liar in Congress, sent a letter to CEOs of Google, YouTube, and Twitter to urge them to use their authoritative powers to censor and silence voices during the coronavirus pandemic. Last week, YouTube CEO told CNN the company would silence anyone who strayed from official WHO policy. Google is cool with that. In fact, the company is very proud of her censorship. YouTube CEO Susan Wojcicki, I think it's Wojcicki, says anything that goes against the WHO is a violation of YouTube policies. All content that isn't medically substantiated, such as advising people take vitamin C will be removed by the platform. Remember this in November. Democrats support this and want more censorship and silencing. Schiff sent these letters off to Google, YouTube, and Twitter, basically saying, we want you to control what people see, right? Send them to different. Misinformation is dangerous, according to Mr. Shifty Schiff. Misinformation about public health is deadly. I sent a letter to the CEOs of Google, YouTube, and Twitter urging them to proactively inform users when they've interacted with medical misinformation. They can help save lives. Now, I know that you all know this already, but remember that the WHO is the one that was telling us that they didn't recommend closing the borders to China, even though President Trump did that, right? So I don't really think that the WHO should be telling, should be the policy that these people should be following, because they also came out against our president's travel bans, not only on China, but for the EU as well. Timothy said Pulaski County is now mandating them also in public business. So, unfortunately, I am not in favor of mandating anyone to wear a mask. Let's remember that the masks have limited effectiveness anyway. But once again, look, if you would like to wear a mask, by all means, you should wear a mask. If you think it would help you, wear a mask. I'm not in favor of mandating things, requiring people to do certain things. Should you wear a mask? You have to determine that, right? But that's a good question. Paul asks, what is a public business? What is a public business? Is that just a business that's open to the public, or is that something that is a particular kind of business? So here's a good, for those, we call him Shifty Schiff. Here's a good reminder of Schiff's lies in the House impeachment hearing. Watch Adam Schiff claim to be using parody to facilitate his lies, right? He apparently thinks he's a comedian rather than chairman of the House Intelligence Committee. Went on the record, right, in front of Congress and made some claims that never happened. The things he said that were contained in the letter, right, or excuse me, in the phone call, the transcript, never happened. Those things was a lie. It was a flat out lie. And his excuse for this lie, right, his excuse was that it was a parody, right? It was a parody. So we can't, and let's bear in mind that this is the guy who wants to determine what we're being told. I have a serious problem with that. I have a very serious problem with that. And remember too that all of these big tech companies are already engaging in ridiculous amounts of censorship. They are censoring conservatives left and right. They are telling us that, or excuse me, they are silencing people who speak out. They are shadow banning people. They are reducing the number of likes. I specifically saw a certain number of likes on a tweet. When I went back to it, it had reduced by more than a third. We see this all the time. Give me just one moment. I'm going to update my ticker. Shirt. Let us know. So there we go. We've already covered the whole. So let's see here. Oh, okay, there we go. So Timothy says Walmart, Menards, Costco, all now requiring masks starting May 1st in Indiana. Yeah, so Timothy says private businesses are making the rules. Look, if a business wants to require a mask, that's fine. That's their choice as a business. Just like, remember, we had the whole deal with Walmart and whether or not they would allow people in their stores with their firearms, which is a whole other issue, right? But they can choose that. They're not violating anything. It's a private business. They can choose whether or not they want people to carry openly in their stores. I think it's I think it's up to them, right? I disagree with it. I'm not a fan, but it's their choice. That's their choice. It's their business. I'm okay with that. They are making that decision. And like Paul says, on their own, not because of government force, right? So cool, right? Cool, no problem. So we have that. We also have another issue that is going on across the country, and that is we have governors that are overstepping their bounds in incredible ways. Michigan is having protests. They want them to open up. Indiana is starting to have protests wanting people to open up. I would love to again to return to normal. I understand that people are afraid, but what it comes down to is that the numbers just simply do not add up, right? They just don't add up. COVID numbers, USC study. So, in case you haven't seen this, I want to show you this. This is actually the USC study that I was talking about the other day. I didn't get a chance to link it for you. And what it is it shows that early antibody testing suggests that the infections in LA County greatly exceed documented cases. The interesting thing is, if that is the case, if they actually have far more cases than they thought, it means that the fatality rate is much lower than previously thought, right? So they estimate, the research team estimates that approximately 4.1% of the county's adult population has an antibody. Adjusting this estimate for the statistical margin of error implies about 2.8 to 5.6% of the county's adult population has an antibody, which translates to approximately 221,000 to 442,000 adults who have been infected. That estimate is 28 to 55 times higher than the confirmed cases reported at the time of the study. The number of these has now surpassed 600. Here's the thing, right? So if we're seeing more of this, right, then that means that the percentages are way, way off than what we're being told. It makes it down to about 0.2%. Possibly even less. Oh, yeah. So Paul asked if I saw the full version of the California doctors video. Now, what he's referring to are the doctors that had got on camera and talked about how the numbers don't add up, and they highly recommend that we open the country back up, because we have people that are really, really struggling. Now, here's the question. Here's what it comes down to is how long can we expect the government to take care of us? How many phases of this plan are we going to support? How many votes? How many bills? How many additional trillions of dollars are we going to build up in the debt before we say enough is enough? What do you think? This is okay. So Timothy says Pulaski County said if not wearing could be charged with a misdemeanor. Can you imagine charging you with a crime for not wearing a mask? Let's see if we can find that. Pulaski County, Indiana. Help if I can spell. Not wearing mask. Misdemeanor. There it is. Book. Oh, here it is on WSBT. Look at that. You guys see it? Yeah, there it is. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. So messenger me. There's the link right here. Let me drop that down for you guys. I like to give you the. Here, we'll close those. That way we don't get as much lag. Pulaski County requiring face masks be worn in public starting Friday. Pulaski County, right, is now requiring its residents to wear face masks when in public beginning this Friday, May 1st. Wow. The county commissioners approved an order Thursday requiring people within the county to cover their nose and mouth when in public. The requirement does not apply to homes or outdoors. Wait a minute. When in public, but it doesn't apply to outdoors. Okay, hold on. The order is in response to a sharp increase in Pulaski County's cases. Reports say the county commissioner felt that if the face mask mandate could save one life, it would be worth it. How many times have we heard that? If we could save one life, it'll be worth it, right? How many times have we heard that from the left? But yet, if you ask them, so if shutting down illegal immigration saves one life, worth it? They don't respond well to that. So people who violate the order could be charged with a misdemeanor. The order will stay in effect until further notice. There's not even an end date. There's not even an end date for this. It's until further notice. So my question is, when in public, but it doesn't apply to outdoors. So does that mean it only applies if you're in a business of some sort, but not outside? Looks like Whole Foods is now offering free masks to all customers nationwide. I don't know if you see this over here on the right, trending. I mean, I guess if you're going to require it, you might as well provide it. That is absolutely unreal. Absolutely unreal. So we have, look, here's what it comes down to. Yeah, it is very vague. Very, very vague. It doesn't say when it's over. It doesn't say exactly what it applies to. And just so everyone knows, just to kind of let you know, the reason I started a few minutes late and I didn't have this set up in advance like I try to do is because I wasn't sure what time the meeting would be over. So if you would like a sign or a shirt, we're still working on the design for the shirt. The old shirts have the top logo on them, and then the back it just has the social media stuff. But I think that the new design that we're working on, I think you're gonna really, really dig it. I think let me see if I can bring it up. Well, you know what? I'll make sure that I put a post out so you can see. I'll put it on Facebook and Twitter and stuff, so you can see the new design that we're going to go for. I think we're going to have, like I said, I think we're going to have the this on the front here, and then back. I'm going to have the Second Amendment flag that is in the back of my truck. So it's basically the American flag with the Second Amendment printed on it. So Mr. Jones says, I am not against people wearing a mask. That's your choice. Just don't demand I do. I agree. I'm not in favor of being mandated to do anything. And that is one reason why I am proud to call myself a Republican. Republicans want less government. We want less oversight. We want more freedom. It cracks me up, right? These people that want the government to take care of everything for them, but then get angry when the government tells them what they can and cannot do, right? If you want the government to take care of every aspect of your life, then the government is going to tell you what you can and can't do in all aspects of your life, from everything from healthcare. And look, let's look at it from just a base level, okay? So let's say that you decide, look, let's look at it from a Medicare perspective, right? Medicare determines what procedures you can have. They will, especially those Medicare supplemental plans that go through insurance companies, Anthem. What's the other big one here in Indiana? I can't think of the name of it right now, but all these supplemental insurance companies, there's several, they determine, because the first thing they do is deny you. You want to have this procedure, you want to have this medication. Oh no, you're going to have to take this medicine instead. That's what happens with government control, right? They control you. There's a reason it's called that. Government controlled healthcare, government controlled education. They determine what you can and cannot do. I don't want any part of that. Just let me know. I am getting them printed. There for a little bit, the place that I was going to get it was shut down, so we are getting it going. This is the second run with, I think, a better design. I think it's going to look better. It's going to have, like I said, the bottom image here. It's still not quite as catchy as I would like. I don't know that it's going to be super easy to read, but I like it enough that I'm willing to run with it. I think it's going to look good. I am taking orders for that. I'm taking orders for shirts. If you would like a shirt, like I said, I'm going to post a pic of exactly what it's going to look like. Not exactly, but close enough, with that little thing in the breast and the flag in the back. But so here's what I would like to say about donating. That was one thing that we talked about during the meeting today as well, via Zoom, was how people are doing with donations. And look, campaigns take money. That's just the way it is. In order to get your message out there via social media, phone banks, normally you got people going door to door, knocking, you got mailers, you got all this stuff. That's one reason why I do this, in order to help you connect with me. If you have questions, if you have anything that you want to know, just ask. As a matter of fact, or you can email me at talk@dionbergeron.com. Visit dionbergeron.com to learn more about my platform. If you have extra money, if you've paid your bills, right? Pay your bills first. Do not send me money that you need for other things, because it does us no good It does us no good to win if the very people I'm trying to help are being hurt by it. I would much rather have to deal with pennies, right, than to have people send me money that they need to pay their bills. I don't want to be that guy. Don't do that. If you have the extra money, if you can afford it, I would greatly appreciate any money. I can certainly use it. More campaign signs, more social media ads, more of everything, right? That said, if you don't have money and you want to help me, just help me spread the message. Tell everybody you know about me. Anybody who lives in the district who was thinking about, gee, I'm not sure who to vote for. I have. Chris Wells says, so you're saying I should send pennies? If that's all you have, then yes, sir. If that's all you have to spare, then yes, sir. I have no problem with that. Look, the bottom line is I don't want people spending money that they need on me. I want them spending money where they need it. I don't understand how we still see, and I'm not, it's nobody on a particular side. It's not this side. It's not the left. It's not the right. We have candidates out there that are just spamming on their social media. Donate. And there's people who don't know where they're going to eat, right? They don't know what it infuriates me. I appreciate that. The people that are able, if you can afford it, absolutely. You can visit my website, dionbergeron.com. Right there at the top is a donate button for those people who, Chris Wells says, just have each of your kids donate the max amount, like certain, like the mayor of Hammond, McDermott. His kids, right, work for his campaign and each donated the maximum amount of money that was possible to donate. I don't understand why they just didn't, why he didn't just give the money to his campaign. At the top right, or if you are not comfortable putting your credit card information in, I completely understand that. I'm going to run my, you can also mail donations to I don't know if I can get it in there without messing it up. I wasn't actually. But here's the thing. There are candidates that are independently wealthy, right? Several on the left are independently wealthy. And that's fine. No worries for them. Good for them. Okay, so that's a ticker. There we go. So there are several that are independently wealthy. There are those who are not. Hey, great. For example, there are those that are worth more than $1 million. Fantastic. Cool. There are those who are not, right? There are those who are regular Americans who are not worth a ton, massive amounts of money, who don't have land worth, over $1 million. And those people still have to, run ads and do the other stuff. I will say this, though, realistically speaking, a lot of things changed with this whole stay-at-home order thing, right? It changed how people do campaigns. And, don't get me wrong, it's horrible. This whole thing has been horrible. But people really had to think on the fly, right? It's like, okay, how can I reach the maximum number of people and still get my message out there without going and knocking on doors, without having meet and greets, without doing, the things that need to be done in order for a candidate to actually, get out there. But yeah, I'll mention again. I don't have a way to see when I use StreamYard who joins the stream. So if you don't comment, a lot of times I won't see you're there. But I told the people that I was on with today, the Republicans for LaPorte County especially. I'm more than happy for the party to use my platform. I will erase all this. I will put GOP up there. I will put their information up there. I will move, POTUS over here, or at least cover up that stuff and put whatever they like. It's not that I don't want to help the party, because I do. I just don't. I'm not going to be told what to do when it comes to voting. And I think that maybe people might have misunderstood me on that. I would like to help the party. I offered my platform. I would like anything that they need help with. I'm more than happy to help. We've got a good little thing going here. We've got a quality feed. We've got a little bit of momentum. I call it Dion's Daily Dose, but it's just a way to communicate. That's really all it is. It's a way to share information that I have. We talked about mail-in voting, and one of the things that was told to me was that, and it's obvious, you can see it all over social media, that Republicans in general don't trust this. People are receiving a lot of phone calls about this. They're receiving a lot of pushback from the Republicans. I was actually told that there are over 50 requests so far for mail-in ballots, and only 9 of them are Republicans. So we don't want to vote by mail. I know I don't. I want to vote in person, and I have every intention of it. I asked, and obviously none of these people have a direct control over whether the answer to the question that I asked, but I asked their feeling as to whether or not they thought that in-person voting would be canceled and it would rely exclusively on mail-in. And they said, no, they didn't believe that was going to happen. I really hope not. Because I would not be in favor of that at all. I want to be able to go in and cast my vote for me and the other candidates that I believe in. I think that it's a unique election season. Yay! I got my flag. I don't know if you guys noticed.
I got one on a pole and one third one.
Yes, we got 2 flags. I don't know if you guys noticed, but our president has declared tomorrow, May 1st, as National Law Day. Let me bring that up, because that's actually I forgot to do that. Let's see. Woo! Yeah, there we go. Excellent. Yeah, that is going to be excellent. So I'm going to be flying my flag. The president has asked everyone to fly the flag tomorrow. National Law Day.
You got to pull the foot.
Yeah, hold on. There it is. Okay, so let me go back and share this. I don't know if you saw this. There we go. Boom. Law Day, right? Tomorrow is Law Day. It is meant to reflect on the role of law. Our president has asked, again, that everyone, here it is, that everyone fly your flag tomorrow if you have one. Let's see here. Let's see if I can find it. Let me get that full screen so you can see it. Here, this is from whitehouse.gov, issued on April 29th, 2020. Proclamation on Law Day USA 2020. More than 230 years ago, the founding fathers of our nation crafted a revolutionary and unique form of government rooted in the rule of law. Today, we continue to enjoy liberty, justice, and equality under the law as set forth and preserved in our Constitution. On Law Day, we celebrate the distinctive framework of our system of government, which secures individual liberties and protects against arbitrary exercise of government power so that all citizens have the right and the freedom to pursue their American dream. In arguing for the ratification of our Constitution, James Madison wisely recognized that in a government, quote, administered by men over men, the great difficulty lies in this. You must first enable the government to control the governed, and in the next place, oblige it to control itself. The framers understood the inherent dangers of consolidated government power, and that in order for our republic to survive, the power to make, execute, and interpret laws could not be vested in one individual or one institution. They knew that, quote, ambition must be made to counteract ambition, and accordingly devised an arrangement whereby separate and co-equal branches share the power of the federal government, each limiting and checking the prerogatives of the others. They also created a system of enumerated powers for the federal government, reserving all other powers to the states. In doing so, the framers limited the powers of the federal government and preserved a place of prominence for state and local lawmaking, which they rightly believed to be more responsive to the unique needs of each community. This year also marks both the 150th anniversary of the ratification of the 15th Amendment, which prohibited denial of the right to vote based on race, color, or previous condition of servitude, and the 100th anniversary of the ratification of the 19th Amendment, which prohibited denial of the right to vote based on sex. The women and men who fought to win a voice for people of color and women in the electoral process strengthened our union and helped the country better fulfill the founding promise of our nation, that the power to enact and enforce laws be truly derived from the consent of the governed. The consent of the governed. As we mark these milestones, we pay tribute to the courageous spirit of the trailblazers who made this achievement possible, and take inspiration from their righteous struggle as we continue working to root out and destroy injustice. We know that our republic can continue to shine as a beacon of liberty only if Americans diligently defend our Constitution and ensure that its limits are strongly enforced. Etc., etc. Look, here's what it comes down to, right here at the bottom. Now, therefore, I, Donald J. Trump, President of the United States of America, in accordance with Public Law 87-20 as amended, do hereby proclaim May 1st, 2020 as Law Day USA. I urge all Americans, including government officials, to observe this day by reflecting upon the importance of the rule of law in our nation and displaying the flag of the United States in support of this national observance. And I especially urge the legal profession, the press, and the radio, television, and media industries to promote and to participate in the observance of this day. I'll give you the link for this. I will tell you that my heart swells with pride over this, because we are a society of laws. We are a country of laws. And the only way that we are going to maintain this country is by sticking to the law, by observing the law, and by ensuring that we have equal justice under the law. That's it. I mean, that's really what it comes down to, ladies and gentlemen, is we right now have a society and a country that is floundering. We have people that are treated unequally based on poverty, sometimes based on race, sometimes based on where people are from. It doesn't happen as much as it used to. I would say the biggest issue, right, with equality under the law is poverty. The people who have a lot of money get treated differently than the ones who don't. Just, oh my goodness, look at Epstein didn't kill himself. Look at that, right? Look, do you think for a moment that anyone who did a tiny fraction of what this man did would have only gotten the ridiculously small sentence, right? I have it on my site, a little deep dive. I think it was, I'm pretty sure it's the Miami Herald that did a really good story on it. I'm going to bring that up. Here is, let's see. Yeah, here it is. I'm going to drop you the link for that. Uh-oh. Hold on. I think it's, is it working still? I'm still ironing out the kinks in this. It seems to me that when I start sharing to the stream, it looks like it might have some issues. Still working that out. I think there might be some things that I can do as far as my PC goes and my phone goes to make sure that happens less often, right? That it lags less. I'm still working on upgrading my setup. Yes, Paul, you are absolutely correct. That's because of the judicial system not following the Constitution and being equal to all. You are absolutely correct, because based on the Constitution, it is equal for everyone. The Constitution demands equality, right? Justice is blind. But here's what it comes down to. We have a judicial system that is focused, right? We have prosecutors that are focused on conviction rates. We have public defenders that are overworked, underpaid. Let's face it, why do people, there's two reasons people go into the public defender's office, right? They either want to get the experience behind them so that they can go and be, move their way up in government or whatever, or they truly, truly believe in what they're doing. So, unfortunately, there's not enough of the latter and far too many of the former. We need fundamental change with our judicial system. We need to enforce the Constitution. We need to make sure that it's being followed to the letter. We need to make sure that we focus less on prosecution stats and conviction rates, and more on getting to the truth of the matter. I mean, how many people have we seen that have taken plea deals because they would be in jail for years otherwise? It's a powerful incentive, and I'm not one of them. What the mistakes that I made when I was a teenager, I did. Right? I was with a guy who did some stuff, and that made me guilty, and absolutely. But there are people that have taken deals because when you're told, okay, if you fight this case, you could be in here for 10 years, 20 years. Let's say that you get away with it, or let's say that you're innocent, right? Let's say you're completely innocent. There's no guarantee that you're going to go home. And even if you are 100% certain, which you can never be, but let's say you're 100% certain that the jury is going to find in your favor, right? They drag these trials out for years, right? So you're told either plea, right? And you can go home right now. Plea deal, sign this paper, you'll be out in a day. Or you can fight it, and you can go for years, right? Do you guys know the name Khalif? I think it's Khalif Browder, I believe. Years he was in jail. Years. It's a horrible, horrible story. There it is. So I'm going to share this with you real quick. Yeah, so Mr. Jones, you're absolutely right. We don't need more laws. Let's be very clear about that. I would like to see most of these, especially there are some really ridiculous laws out there that just need to be rolled back. We don't need more laws. We just need for the people to be treated equally under the laws that we have. Let's start rolling back some of these laws that we have. We have way too many. One of these nights I'm gonna do a ridiculous law dive, right? Where we go through some of the silliest laws on the books. And this is the kind of stuff that I think needs to be gotten out of there, right? Because there's no shortage of them. There's tons of them, right? So the name of this gentleman who is no longer with us, his name is Khalif Browder, Kalief is the first name, and his last name is Browder, Browder. I would have linked it, but I can't stand the New York Times and what they've become. So here, this is NBC. They're not much better, but at least it's not New York Times. So, oh yeah, so that is an excellent. That's an excellent point. It's an excellent point, Chris. He points out, you in the United States government, you can fight it, but we have the money to make this last for years. Do you? And that's what it comes down to. It comes down to people. Because look, if you go, right, and you're innocent, let's say you get arrested for something and you're innocent and you have money, you can bond out, you can go and you can get with an attorney, you can hire a really good one, you can get taken care of. Now, I'm talking about all of this if you're innocent, right? If you're innocent and you're poor, first of all, you got to come up with money for bail, right? That's the biggest hurdle right there. Should we be cutting everybody loose? No. But it needs to be equal, right? We need to really look at this from a realistic perspective and say, how can we make this an equal system of justice when the biggest difference between serving time and going home is how much money you have? There are countless examples. I've covered them before, but hey, until we get some people into positions of authority in this country, some representatives that really want to make it equal under the law, then we're going to have the same problems. We're going to have the same issues. So I'm going to wrap up. Again, tomorrow I got my guy coming, Jim. He is, I have no idea how it's going to go. We don't particularly have some. He's funny. Him and I together. It's not going to be a really serious thing. I don't think. We're just going to hang out, have a good time. This guy has known me since 7th grade. We've hung out. We've he's lived with me. I've lived with him over the years. It's been. So Timothy points out, like hunting laws, right? It's illegal to hunt sandhill cranes in Indiana, but they fly across imaginary state lines into Texas, and now they're legal to hunt, right? They go from here to here, 2 different laws. And like Chris Wells points out, we're going to send things to your attorney to read and respond to at $250 an hour. Exactly. And they get you for the legal fees and all of that. So tomorrow, 7 p.m., we are going to hear from my buddy Jim. And look, it's just going to be a hangout session. I don't have anything particular planned, but he's an interesting guy. I don't know how much info he wants to share, but he was laid off recently because of the pandemic. This is the guy that I was talking about that works for a company that makes engine parts for General Motors. GM started talking about shutting their factories down, and so he was a casualty of that. He and his girlfriend, longtime girlfriend, might as well his common law wife, right? Essentially, mother of his kids. They're both laid off. They're both victims of this economy. Well, not the, I mean the pandemic. The economy was going great, so unfortunately, that's where we sit. So, thanks everybody for joining me. Go to if you want to get involved, right? If you want to help without sending pennies or dollars or whatever, if you want to help, go to dionbergeron.com or email me at talk@dionbergeron.com. And there's all kinds of stuff we can think of to do. If you want to sign, email me. If you want a shirt, send me your size, right? I might say go a size bigger because I like to get all cotton and they shrink, at least for me. So it is what it is. So thanks again for joining us. See you tomorrow, 7:00. Hashtag Dion's Daily Dose. Hashtag blah, 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 blah. God bless you and God bless the USA.